Hey, what's up guys, it's Jonathan here. Your 20s can be a very difficult part of your life. On one hand, you're trying to figure out the different aspects and complexities of being an adult, while on the other hand, you're trying to pursue your passions and dreams. But throughout all this shuffling, one thing that can be overlooked is your finances. Given how important money is in our day-to-day lives, I think that in your 20s, it's very important for you to keep your finances in order. And given that I'm 25 years old myself, I thought it would be appropriate to make a video discussing some of the common mistakes that I see people make in their 20s. So in this video, we'll discuss the 5 most common money mistakes people make in their 20s. So if this video provides you any value, please consider hitting the like button and subscribe button and notification bell so you get notified anytime I post a new video. Both of these actions help push this video out to the 4 corners of the YouTube universe. So without any further ado, let's get right into it. The first common mistake I see people make in their 20s is buying a new car. I know a lot of 20-something-year-olds who will buy a new luxury car for themselves, especially if they just graduated from college. Even though these cars are nice to have and a new car smells awesome, there's a couple reasons why you want to avoid this. First, most new cars lose about 50% of their value in the first 3 years, which means that if you have a car payment of $300 a month, about half of that money is going directly into the trash. And throwing away money is the number one way to kill your wealth. And when it comes to luxury cars, this problem only becomes worse. As with luxury cars, you're paying a higher price for the car that is marginally better than a regular car. So in simpler terms, a luxury car, kind of like a Mercedes-Benz, will depreciate a lot quicker than something like a Honda Civic. And I've made this mistake as well. Back in 2016, I had leased a brand new 2016 Honda Civic. And when I first leased the car, it was worth about $24,000. But by the time my 3-year lease was over, the car was only worth $13,000. I eventually ended up buying the car out of the lease because that was my best option to get a reliable car at the time. And Honda Civics are considered to be on the better end of the depreciation spectrum, so they don't lose their value as quickly. But in this situation, it lost almost 50% of its value. This is a good example of why you should avoid buying a new car. The second problem with buying a new car is that in most situations, you have to finance them. And this could hurt you when you go and buy a home. Typically, lenders will look at your income and your current debt payments. And lenders will take your debt payments in consideration when they're determining how much mortgage they want to extend to you. And lenders will consider your monthly debt payments when they're determining how much mortgage that you could afford. So the more debt you have, the less home that they'll approve you for. So the solution to this is to buy a car in cash that's 3 to 5 years old. Typically at this point of a car's life cycle, it's gone through most of its depreciation. So you get maximum value from the car. The second money mistake you want to avoid in your 20s is not buying real estate. Real estate is probably one of the most straightforward ways to build wealth in America. And this is for 2 reasons. First, homes typically appreciate over time. Or in other words, the value of a home goes up over time. Second, when you pay your mortgage every month, there's 2 parts of that payment, principal and interest. When you pay down the principal portion, you're building equity in the property that you own. And when you rent, you get 0% of your rent payment back to you. And since we all have to live somewhere, don't you think it would be better to live somewhere that pays you every month rather than living somewhere that just takes money from you and doesn't give you anything back in return? When I was 22, I thought it would take me years to save up enough money for a 20% down payment on a house. But given the various home buying programs that exist in the US, I was able to buy a place for little to no money down. And I know that everyone's not in a position to buy a home in their 20s, but if you are, you should seriously consider doing so. So the third money mistake you can make is eating out too much. We all know how easy it is to get persuaded by your friends to go out and try this new restaurant in the neighborhood. But these restaurants, especially the trendy ones, will mark up their foods to insane prices. And you can be paying anywhere from 3 to 4x the amount that it would cost you to make that same food at home. For example, there's this trendy breakfast place that I live down the street from. And they sell a short stack of pancakes, which is free pancakes about maybe this big, for $20, which is absolutely insane. So I'm not telling you to never eat out, but I'm telling you to be mindful of when you do so. So some alternatives to eating out is that you could do a potluck at your home instead. You could invite your friends over to your house and each of you bring over a dish or a drink and share it together as a group. Another way you can save money from going out is by pre-gaming. If you're planning on going out but you're not planning on driving, you could always have a drink or two at home before you leave for the night. Given that some bars upcharge the heck out of their drinks, this can save you a considerable amount of money on drinks when you go out. And since we're on the subject of saving money, the fourth money mistake you can make in your 20s is not budgeting. A budget is a game plan on how you allocate your money. It tells you how much you plan to save, spend, and invest. And if you want to have any financial success in life, you have to make a budget and hold yourself accountable to it. The biggest thing I like about making a budget, I know how much to save and invest every month. This allows me to set up auto transfers into my savings and investment accounts, helping me to streamline the process of reaching my financial goals. One of my favorite tools to use for budgeting is Mint.com. They allow you to create a budget on their platform, and you can link your bank accounts and credit cards so you can track your progress in real time. And the best part about it is that it's completely free. A budget also allows me to avoid the fifth money mistake, which is not developing an emergency fund. An emergency fund is money that's set aside to cover any unforeseen expenses, like a flat tire or an unexpected medical bill. The normal rule of thumb is to save 3 to 6 months worth of expenses in this fund. And if you have a budget in place, you can now allocate your savings to build your emergency fund until you get to that magic number. The sixth mistake you want to avoid in your 20s is not starting to save for retirement. Most people in their 20s think that they don't need to start saving for retirement, but this couldn't be further from the truth. For example, if you invested $1 when you're 20 years old, by the time you're 65 years old, that $1 would have turned into $21. But if you were to wait until you're 30 and then invest that same $1, it would only be $11 when you turn 65. So the earlier you start, the more money you'll have in the future. And who doesn't want more money? So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button for YouTube algorithm. It greatly helps out the channel, helps push this video out to as many people as possible. Also, while you're down there, if you enjoy my perspectives and the way I explain things, consider hitting the subscribe button and notification bell so you get notified anytime I post a new video. If you know anyone in their 20s that could use these pointers, consider sharing this video with them. Also, I'd love to hear from you guys. Have you made any of these money mistakes so far? Let me know in the comment section down below. Follow me on all my social medias. I try to post there every day. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.